Me and my fiancé love both martial arts as well as tabletop RPGs like D&D. So lately we've been going over what unarmed combat styles would fit each D&D class the best. Specifically talking about unarmed martial arts here, since weapons are not my thing and there are people a lot more suitable for that. This time the class we'll take a look at is the Rogue.
Rogues rely on skill, stealth and their foes' vulnerabilities to get the upper hand in any situation. They have a knack for finding the solution to just about any problem, demonstrating resourcefulness and versatility that is the cornerstone of any successful adventuring party.
The feats I was interested in here were Sneak Attack, Cunning Action, Uncanny Dodge, Evasion, Elusive and Stroke of Luck. Sneak Attack lets you strike subtly and exploit your foe's distraction, giving you extra damage for successful attacks when you have an advantage. Cunning Action lets you take a bonus action each turn. This can be either dash, disengage or hide. Uncanny Dodge lets you half the damage of an attack you can see coming at you. Evasion gives you the ability to dodge out of the way of certain area effects. Elusive means you are so goddamn slippery, attackers have a hard time gaining the upper hand on you.
Slippery little snake.
And finally, Stroke of Luck. If your attack misses a target within range, you can turn the miss into a hit. Now for the roguish archetype, I went with Swashbuckler, which gives you a couple cool tricks like Fancy Footwork, meaning if you make a melee attack during your turn, that creature can't make an opportunity attack against you for the rest of your turn. Rakish Audacity lets you sneak attack without advantage when you're within 5 feet of your target and there are no other creatures around. Elegant Maneuver, which means you can use your bonus action to gain advantage on your next Dex or Strength check on that turn, as well as Master Duelist, which lets you reroll a missed attack roll with advantage.
Neat.
What would be a martial art that's elusive, fast to change between offense and defense, and recovers easily from missed attacks into a second opportunity? I'd go for something like the empty-handed components of Filipino martial arts. The unarmed parts of Eskrima, Arnis and Kali go by many names. Suntukan, Mano Mano, Panantukan if you're from the Inosanto lineage of FMA, or just Filipino boxing. Suntukan's origins are somewhere in the earlier parts of the 1900s, with people combining Western boxing with Filipino knife and stick fighting and some Japanese judo and jiu-jitsu elements to form what these days is practiced as Suntukan.
That's a hot mixing pot with a lot of influences.
Yeah, and all of them are really fucking cool.
They are.
Suntukan has similarities with other trapping heavy styles like Wing Chun or Jeet Kune Do, but with a clear affinity for staying in the pocket and using elbows and knees and Western style boxing strikes instead of the Kung Fu based hand strikes of Wing Chun, as well as dirty tactics like eye pokes, because the unarmed style is only to be used as a last resort when in an unfavorable position without a weapon. Often in Suntukan we see those same trapping techniques you would use with weapons like a bolo knife or a karambit, but instead of cutting you use heavy elbows or knees to the joints or the ends of large muscles to make sure you incapacitate the opponent and stop them from attacking as quickly as possible.
It sounds really cool.
It's like... Have you seen Raid? We gotta watch Raid.
What the fuck is Raid?
Why I would pick Suntukan for a rogue is because of the earlier mentioned resourcefulness and versatility being the cornerstones of a rogue's place in a party. I don't think a rogue would use unarmed combat for anything other than as a last resort, but would definitely be at least competent at it for cases where all else fails and you need to disengage quickly. Using the same moveset you'd use with your weapons, but just unarmed, and using fast high-low-high combinations to the weakest parts of your opponent in hopes of overwhelming them long enough to get out of the engagement range and hide for a chance to strike from a more advantageous position. I have this image of a smaller D&D race like Kenku, Halfling, Goblin or Kobold getting caught by an armed guard, trapping the guard's arm and sinking a quick elbow into the guard's joint, getting loose and with elusive sinking low to dodge the guard's attempt at striking the rogue, slamming their elbows to the guard's knees, then lashing out with rapid strikes to groin, and with fancy footwork they disengage, running back into the shadows as soon as they have the chance. I don't know, sounds pretty fitting for a rogue to me.
I wanna play a rogue.
Hell yeah. Thanks for watching. If you disagree with me, Go down into the comments and tell me what style you think would fit a rogue better. Next time we'll go over the purest epitome of devotion, the paladin. For more martial arts and gaming content, sub to the channel and follow us in the socials below. Bye bye.
Bye!